right, guys, what's up? Welcome back to the first, episode of the third try at this fucking podcast. This has been the longest running piece of content in has-been sports history. We've just killed it like 3 times. It started off as the roadie sound check, and then we killed that. We rebranded it to the Nashville sound check, and then schedule and just doing the live screen or live footage, whatever, just got complicated. So now it is back as an audio podcast. You can find us live on Periscope. I don't think we've set a date. Oh, yeah. Co-host, by the way. Travis, go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
Hi, I'm Travis Poole.
Where can we find you on Twitter?
At NSC Guru.
Awesome, man. So, yeah, we'll be here every week. I don't think we've set a definite date or day of the week where we're going to do this, but we're going to try to get a pod out every week. If not, we'll move stuff around. We'll get guest host on. I know stuff comes up. Both me and you have busy schedules with work and whatnot, but we will get this out on a consistent basis. We won't make the same mistake we've made 2 times in a row. And yeah, check us out live on whatever day we pick, but live on either Periscope via our Twitter, Twitch, which that makes us money, so it would help a lot if you went there at twitch.com. Oh my God, twitch.tv/hasbeengames. Or alternatively, this also helps a lot. You can search Has Been Sports on Apple Podcast, and that is where all of our podcasts that we put out are conveniently listed. I know a lot of companies or production studios, whatever you want to call them, have a different listing for each individual pod. We're trying to just put it all in one spot, just so it's easy to find all of it. So yeah, go there. You can listen to this pod. You can listen to quality content with a little bit of everything. You can listen to Fed Talk, which is a food review podcast, and then we have some other stuff coming down the pipe. So, Travis, let's get into this thing, man. I know we talked a little bit about doing kind of a free-flowing pod, talking about how we got introduced into the club, the history of the club, and that sort of stuff. So tell me, what was your first introduction point into the club? How did you learn about it, and like how long ago was that? When did you birth your fandom into Nashville SC?
Ooh, okay, yeah, it actually goes back to 2013 to the MPSL days.
Yeah, man.
I actually didn't know what was going on at the time. I had a friend that was like a couple grades older than me, and he was going to try out for NFC for their like inaugural season.
Yeah.
And
Because we had those open tryouts.
I think it was
during
Rose
those
Park.
days.
Rose Park.
Yeah, dude, I was there. That was awesome.
Yeah, I swung by and
I didn't play because I'm awful, but I was there. I watched.
Yeah, I was still in high school. I was like, I'm not about to do this. But I went there. I thought it was just your local like rec teams and stuff. You go to try out, whatever.
Ooh,
and,
guest dog.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, excuse me, dog is being very barky today. If you're a frequent of Has Been Sports content, he does this every single podcast. So, third co-host Marley may chime in every now and again, but keep going, buddy.
Well, my friend was trying out. He told me to swing on by, and I decided to come down and visit him. And I noticed it wasn't just your normal rec league tryouts or anything, because all the professional-looking coaches, and we actually had some fans sitting up in the bleachers that had I can't remember the roadie sign already.
Yeah.
Or
there was it's not the one they have now, but it was like there was like a roadie's logo, and then it was just like in the worst like font ever.
It was
like typed out the website and
production roadies. Yeah.
It looked like it was put together in like paint. Like it was bad.
Yeah, it was.
I love it. Going back and looking at those photos, I love it. But like it was compared to what we have now, it's funny to see where we started.
Oh
where
yeah,
we come.
we've definitely upgraded a lot of the equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
But I noticed it was just different when I saw like 5 to 6 people up there already watching tryouts. So I was like, okay, this is not your normal rec league team you're trying out for. And my friend got a couple callbacks and to where he kept coming back for tryouts, and he didn't make it, unfortunately. But no, he gave us.
He's a part of the club's history. Club legend.
Club legend. Yeah, he's a club legend. No, but he gave me a schedule for the team, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna come check this out. And I slowly ended up falling in love. I didn't actually join the supporters group though. I I sat off to the side and just enjoyed it like a normal casual viewer.
Yeah.
And a couple years went by, then USL announcement hit.
Yeah,
and
man.
As soon as that hit, it seems like MLS came, and I was like, okay, this.
Dude, it happens so fast, and it's crazy. I kind of want to go back to my introduction, and we'll keep the ball rolling. But I had followed Has Been Sports, which formerly Chris Jones, that started the first amateur team, used to run, and now it's under me. But Chris Jones, I followed him via that, right? And he kind of put this idea out on Twitter, whatever. It kind of started to snowball, and from that I was like, oh, this is interesting, but I didn't really buy in yet because like one, I didn't know him personally at the time. And two, I didn't quite believe that it pick up the speed it did.
Yeah.
When I really bought in was, I think it was just before those tryouts, the MLS actually did a article on then Nashville FC about how they were trying to set up this fan-owned football team, soccer team, and it was you would pay in, you'd get voting membership, you would get all this sort of stuff, and it was like a whole unique thing, and they kind of laid it all out how it was set up. And really that was the moment for me where I was like, oh, this is legit. Because like Major League Soccer is not going to do an article on someone who's running like a pyramid scheme trying to get your money, right? So at that point I'm like in. So I think I was like season ticket holder like 102 or something like that. I was just barely missed the double digits in the season ticket holder number line. But I jumped in pretty early, and then from then on, man, I joined. I actually didn't join the Roadies right away.
Really?
I was one of the first couple dozen members, but I didn't join the Roadies right away. There was another supporters group that lived for like half a season called the Yellow Hammer, started by I can't remember his last name, but it is JK something. I can't remember his last name. His name is JK.
Yeah, I had no idea. That was another one.
And when that started, that was the first one I came across. And it was actually previously a supporter group for another amateur club in town that merged with Nashville SC. So I was kind of following them. So I joined that first, and I went to their first meeting and realized, and I love JK to death. I hadn't seen him in years, but I love him to death. Realized it was really just me and him, and then a few other people who were already roadies showed up. And I was like, well, this has more momentum. I'm gonna jump over, whatever. And I remain kind of neutral, but I've been a roadie since then. I mean, he kind of tailed off of running that supporter group, and then the roadies were the prominent supporter group for years. So I jumped in with them, and then from that I was volunteering with the club, or any chance I can get, and ended up being the club's first social media guy outside of Chris Jones, the founder of the club. So you ran
Nashville FC Twitter and stuff.
So I ran the Twitter and I think we had a Snapchat and kind of a Instagram. It wasn't really that big of a priority, but we had one.
Did you run
Facebook as well?
Did you run Jonesy's hair account?
I did not. I wish I could take credit for that. But yeah, I did that all the way up until the USL announcement. I actually live tweeted the USL announcement, and for like a couple weeks after that. And then obviously I was still in college, and they were hiring staff, and it was no longer an amateur team, so I didn't stay on. But it was a great experience. It was great to see the club build from the beginning. But I kind of want to get into how quickly everything grew and how crazy it is to see it go from, how it started with as an amateur club playing against just regional teams, playing against Chattanooga, playing against Knoxville, Memphis later on, Birmingham, New Orleans. Yeah. Going from that to being a USL team, and then almost fucking immediately just rockets into MLS.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it was so quick I didn't get to enjoy USL.
Yeah, I'm glad. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad we were kind of fast-tracked into MLS. And let's face it, we were. We were fast-tracked into MLS because we had attendance at national team games and whatever games at Nissan, and then we had 2 billionaire owners. So
and Nashville's a destination city.
So we were fast-tracked. But I kind of sort of wish that we would have had 1 year in USL where we weren't looking ahead 2 to 3 seasons.
Like pre-MLS announcement. Like we'd be sitting there like we're a USL team. We didn't necessarily know we're getting an MLS.
Yeah.
So we can kind of, I guess, bask in the moment.
Yeah, it would have been. I mean, it was satisfying no matter what. It would have been more satisfying if we could have sat back and enjoyed the USL for at least a season a little longer. It was a great experience being in the USL, and I know we established rivalries there. We established kind of a friendly rivalry with Atlanta that looks like it's carrying over, and we established probably our most heated rivalry yet, even though from between Nashville and Cincinnati fans, to Nashville, that's our most heated rivalry. I'll guarantee you Cincinnati will always hate Columbus more, and I understand it. Yeah, if there was like Nashville and I don't know, like if Memphis went to the MLS somehow,
we'd probably hate Memphis.
It'd be Memphis immediately. But right now, how things are looking up based off of history and interactions between fans, that for Nashville fans, the Cincinnati-Nashville is like the hate rivalry, and the Nashville-Atlanta is kind of like the
it's like, hey,
Southern hospitality rivalry. Yeah. Like when the MLS team came here for our first friendly at First Tennessee Park, Nashville fans and Atlanta fans were singing fuck Orlando in the bar. We were all buddy. It was fine. And That's how it always starts. I know something's gonna happen either on the field or on Twitter or in the stands or something. Yeah, and then it's gonna go downhill. But for right now, that looks how it's kind of gonna stay. But just looking back on the full history of the club, what were some of your favorite moments I guess, not counting any of the MLS stuff, so USL and back? What were some of your favorite moments that you witnessed as a fan from essentially the beginning?
Well, I know one was actually getting to meet it was Guillermo Lascano, I believe his name was, back in NPSL.
Yep.
Watching him, he was probably my favorite defender on the team. Actually got to meet him and talk to him. And, of course, Elliot Goodwin, Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, man. What a dude.
But I think my favorite USL most recent memory comes to mind would either be that thriller 3-3 draw at the end of the season against Cincinnati, because that was just overall an amazing game.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Just for both sides to just overall enjoy.
Yeah.
I do appreciate Cameron Lancaster scoring a banger this past season
Dude,
at Hartford.
That was insane.
At Hartford, because I had drove 17 hours with our boy Denzel and 3 other guys in a car, and for him to come out and just hit a shot like that to, guarantee us a victory, not making the trip worthwhile.
Yeah.
So when you drive for 17 hours for a draw.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but
speaking of driving 17 miles or 17 hours for a draw, or driving 17 hours, for a match in general, Nathan on Twitch asked, are you planning on coming to Portland for our match against the Timbers? I know I am. I don't know what your travel.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of a inconvenient year to join.
Dog. Stop. Bad dog.
Kind of an inconvenient year to join MLS. I just graduated college.
Yeah,
and
I feel that.
Getting married, so I got a lot to save up for. But I really plan on making it to Portland.
Yeah.
It's one of the more, I want to say, lively atmospheres in MLS.
It's so until Nashville came around, and I ditched Portland as like my team, because Portland was since I started watching soccer was like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Which is when a lot of people our age started watching, honestly.
Yeah.
Since then, I've been a Portland fan hardcore until about, I'm going to say 2015. Was still a Portland fan. I'd say to this day, I still hope Portland does well. But right around 2015 is when I'm like hardcore Nashville SC, FC then, now SC. And as long as Portland isn't in Nashville's way, I hope they do well.
Yeah.
But if they play Nashville, fuck them. And I'm beyond excited to go see that atmosphere, experience how one of the more prestigious clubs in North America, I'm not even going to say just the United States, in North America in general, handles game day, how the fan atmosphere is. I want to experience all of that. And
their supporter culture is amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes down and kind of see what we can bring back. And I know Nashville is taking a fair amount of people there. It's not a planned trip. It's not something that the supporters groups have put together, but just talking to people.
Just individuals.
We're gonna have a fair amount of people there.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be for the destination cities, there's going to be a decent amount, at least on the West Coast. There's going to be a handful of NSC fans at all of them. I know a bunch of people going to both LA games. I know a bunch of people going to Seattle, and then I'm excited for our more regional trips. And what sucks about when and how we joined MLS is that we are stuck in the fucking Western Conference, where everything is Western Conference, where everything's so spread out. It makes driving to almost any of those games damn near impossible.
Unless you want to drive 8 hours to the closest one.
I know for a fact we're going to take a fuck ton of people to Cincinnati. It's happening.
That's a given. Yeah.
Everyone I've talked to at any of these events that we've had prior to the season, it's been that's the game circled on our calendar. We're going to that, and we'll figure out the other ones.
Isn't Miami coming to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have to.
If Miami wasn't coming to us, I would have gone to Miami.
I mean, same here, yeah.
I have places I can stay there, and I might end up going to Dallas because I have family all over Texas.
I'm going to Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another big
a club I supported before Nashville got MLS. Yeah. I was like, I like them. I like what they've done, how they're that small market feel, but they've made the most of everything they've had and been successful at doing it. So I respect the hell out of them and wish them good luck this season. But when it comes to playing us, I wish.
Got a comment from Patty in the on the Twitch, and if you want to interact with us live during the show at any point on any of our podcasts, please go follow us on Twitch and interact there. I know we do simul stream this over on Periscope and on Twitter, and this will go up on iTunes later. But Twitch, it helps us financially. We get some ad revenue from that. You can subscribe there. That helps us a lot. Dogs can bark. But yeah, Patty, I've read your comments. I just was ignoring the first one because I was trying to get my dog to be quiet. But yeah, love you, Patty. Come with us to Portland if you want to, buddy. But going into just some more traditions and memories that have come up since 2013. I love how organic the roadies kind of like traditions and what they do, and not just the roadie. It was only the roadies for such a long time.
Yeah.
But then the assembly came in at the beginning of the USL, and now we have like 4 others: the Heaters, the Gold Brigade, the some other ones.
Is that mainly our Hispanic fan base? Yeah. I like that though. I like that.
I'm trying to remember the names of the other ones. Dang it. It's like Eastern Front,
Music
City supporters, and I think that's all we have at the moment. But I love how all of the traditions have been so organic, and like we get a lot of flack from other supporters, other fan bases, people overseas, whatever, who haven't really watched a lot of games, haven't been at the games, whatever, for being at times cookie cutter, whatever. Like on that bus trip, people were like pointing out that we did like the "We Love You Nashville" chant or whatever, and it was yeah, that's very generic. It's dogs wrestling with Travis right now. And that's very generic, but it was very much like the dude on the bus was like, okay, start chanting now, and we're just like, oh shit, okay, and we did whatever came first. But the traditions that popped up, like the Bohemian Rhapsody thing, is my favorite story.
Oh, was that? We were like, what game was it? Because we were in the middle of the rain.
I can't remember who we were playing. All I remember
was it Red Bulls.
It was
Red Bulls too.
It might have been. It was either Red Bulls or like Swope Park or something.
Yeah.
But it was a rain delay, 35th minute, and everyone was just bored sitting around. 30th minute, dog. Everyone was just sitting around hanging out, and for some reason, Ben just started singing Bohemian Rhapsody, and everyone joined in, and it was awesome, and it was fun. And that game, we won on a last-second banger goal. It was like 94th minute, 93rd, 94th minute.
We have a lot of walk-off goals.
We have a lot of them. And it was awesome, right? And it was either the next game or a couple games later or whatever. There was no rain delay, but in the 30th minute, at the exact same point in the game, we started singing Bohemian Rhapsody again as a fuck you to Steven, because Steven was like
he hates it.
He hated it at first. He loves it now, but he was like, there was kind of a natural like lull in the chant. Like there's times that in every game for every team where it's like,
you hit a lull.
It's like, okay, all right, drums play. Let's take like a 20-second break and then.
Go back into it.
Yeah, and then go back into it. And Ben, again, exact same time of the game, started singing Bohemian Rhapsody. And Steven was like pointing at him to stop. So everyone was like, ha ha, fuck you, and started singing along with them. And at that moment, it just spread throughout the supporter sections to other part of the stadium. And it was awesome. It took off, and it sounded amazing. And then that game, again, 93rd minute banger. I think that one was to draw.
Yeah,
but it was still a 93rd minute goal to give us a point.
Was it the Charleston deflection by Bolu Akinyoti?
It might have been.
Yeah,
it might have been. I think one of those two was a draw and one of them was a win, I think. Or they may have both been wins. All I remember is a 93rd, 94th minute banger that sealed the game for us. And after that, it was like, all right, we have to do this every time. Like, one, sounded great. Two, it's worked for 2 games in a row.
Well, I know for one, like we were in at the time, our supporter section was near the family section.
Yeah.
And they loved. We went from Bohemian Rhapsody. We sang Journey, and I can't remember what we hit some other classics. And they were just looking over us. Someone filming us singing it. Some were just laughing.
Yeah.
Someone sing along with it. I was like, all right, they're enjoying this.
Yeah.
So. But I think it was a fun atmosphere. We had fun.
I like to see. I think every supporter group, every new soccer culture in the United States, right? The starting point is always the American Outlaws. Mm-hmm. Like, for how they do things. That's how it seems to be how it is for a lot of people, with the exception of Miami, but they just culturally are different. A lot of their chants are in Spanish. It's amazing. I love it.
I love how they incorporate that.
But for the most part, from my point of view, from what I've seen, a lot of new soccer cities, the starting point for how they chant, sing, whatever, is the American Outlaws.
Whatever chants they use, you transition that to your club, insert your club's name.
And slowly, since 2013, 2014, Nashville's added stuff that is uniquely us, that is different in how we support or whatever. And to see how that's slowly changed with like Bohemian Rhapsody. We've taken stuff from like Dutch teams. We've taken stuff from like Middle Eastern teams. Western Sydney.
Yeah.
I mean, we've picked chants and songs and whatever dances from the Dutch team from all over the world, and mix that in with, again, the starting point, which was the American Outlaws and how they've done stuff for years, and it's created so far a very just a welcoming, awesome atmosphere in the supporter section, the supporters end of the stadium, and I'm excited to see what the next evolution of that is in MLS. And I'm not quite sure what that's going to be, and we can go into predictions if you have anything that what are some big clubs or some big supporters groups that like you look at and like that's how I want Nashville to be, or like I want to take something out of that.
Honestly, I've looked at a lot of like. I know it's like the English football like supporter stands and sections. Yeah. They have a lot of chants. Now, I'm not saying being very derogatory towards players, like, some reports have come out of Italy and stuff like that. But I like to do the chants directed towards, like, Guzan, do a Harry Potter chant because he looks like Voldemort or something.
When we played Atlanta, every time Guzan touched the ball, Aaron Grisham, who's usually on our quality content podcast and our Fed Talk podcast, every time he touched the ball, top of his lungs would just scream, "Bald! Bald!" Like just as bald. Loud as he can, just yell "bald" every time. It was great. It's like, I love how both Nashville soccer and Nashville hockey, it's like, we're gonna target one of you, and we're gonna make you cry,
and just pick on that. Yeah. I do love the incorporation of the Preds goalie chant. Yeah. It sounds amazing in soccer. It does. Just in the stadium itself, because it echoes a lot louder than you hear in. It's funny because it's inside of a stadium, arena, but it sounds awesome.
It echoes really well, and I think the initial reason for doing that, and this was like I think a year one decision by the Roadies, was people in Nashville are brand new to soccer, right?
Yeah.
They wanted to give them a sense of familiarity in the stands, and it's like everyone knows what's going on at Preds games. They know what to chant. They know all the words to the chant. They know what's happening.
Yeah.
So like people all the time would come up and be like, "Hey, we have no idea what you're chanting. It's awesome," and like they would learn over time. But that's one where everyone, no matter who they are, if you've lived in Nashville for more than a year, you know what's going on during that chant.
It's the intensity. It's the intensity on the "you suck" from everyone, because everyone knows the chant, so they can join in on it. Even like the people in the casual seating area, you hear them yelling it. Yeah, but I think that's awesome to incorporate. Cause, I think everyone in Nashville is essentially a hockey fan. Yeah, with the Preds and everything, so incorporating them into it. Yeah, and I think since the beginning of the club, it's been interesting to see how the ties between Nashville soccer fans and Nashville hockey fans. It's been a lot of them are the same group of people. I mean, everyone that's a Roadie is the same group of people. But it's interesting to see how the Roadies and the back line or whatever and Cell Block 303 have had
there's been a lot of crossover there. And I'm interested to see what happens. We've borrowed chants from them. I cannot wait for the day where Koibig is echoing through Bridgestone Arena.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
It would be badass. It'll happen one day.
Speaking of talking about how the crossover between Preds and Nashville SC fans,
yeah.
I know for a fact the first season we had our USL team, we played at Nissan Stadium twice. Both times, and I think it was over 18K came. Yeah. And I looked around, a lot of people were in Preds gear. Yeah. And it's just no Preds game. They say, hey, let's check out soccer. And, of course, they don't have any soccer gear, so they came and watched, and they loved it. Yeah. I mean, I think they both ended in draws.
I think it was, dude. So, until this year, we had never scored in Nissan Stadium.
And no one's ever scored on us. That's the funniest thing.
That's a glass half full way to look at it. But that first game, that first USL opener,
Pittsburgh,
if we would have blown the doors off of that,
the Lebo Maloto scissor kick that almost was,
that would have been insane. If we would have scored in that first game, I think, and I'll be a realist here. Our USL attendance numbers they were average.
For USL, yeah.
For USL, they were average. I think that first season, if we would have scored or blown the doors out in that first game, we would have led the league in attendance.
I know I was watching a video, actually, just reminiscing on USL days. RIP. But I was watching the game, and that corner that came in from Justin Davis to Lebo Maloto on that scissor kick, that was just cleared off the line last minute. Yeah. You looked around the stadium. It was yellow. It was like terrible towel from Pittsburgh.
It was great.
And I was like, this atmosphere was amazing. Just seeing everyone stand up and going, oh,
dude,
waving their towels.
It's going to be that on, like, steroids come next month for the home opener.
I looked at a lot of people have gotten their tickets today, for that game.
I've said this since they announced when the home opener was. There's going to be a big contingent of Atlanta fans there. It's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, they're established first.
I think no matter what, however many tickets the club wants to sell to that game, if they opened up the full stadium, I think they would get damn near close to selling it out.
Oh, yeah.
Based off of how many Atlanta fans are going to come, how many Nashville fans are curious and going to check it out. And that first game atmosphere, it's going to be interesting.
And Nashville's a walk-up city, too.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be very interesting because it's going to be two supporter sections battling back and forth across the stadium. Yeah. And it's going to be a rivalry atmosphere that the city hasn't felt since we beat the Blackhawks in the playoffs. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's not the hate's not going to be there, but the atmosphere itself, how it feels in the stadium, it's going to be that sort of atmosphere because everyone's so excited for this.
I am not a Cincy fan. I like to thank you for pointing that out.
Aaron in the chat. Okay, hold on. Pause on the entire conversation. I defended your ass. What the fuck was up with the this is a FC Cincinnati Stan account now?
Okay,
what the fuck was going on?
Okay. Let me give some backstory. Okay, I work 2 jobs now. And one of them is at Walmart, and I think you all know my distaste for Walmart and me working there. So I decided I wasn't going to do anything that day, so I was just chilling there. And I was like, you know what? Let's get Twitter going. Yeah. You know, 'cause nothing.
You just dropped a match and some gasoline is what you did.
Yeah, I was like, nothing's going on right now. Let's just stop. I don't love FCC.
Travis loves FCC in all caps in the chat.
No, I was like, you know what can make Nashville fans freak out and Cincinnati fans be just really surprised? And I think Dan from Cincinnati commented, "Are you okay, bud?" Like, just really confused. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Let's make some pro Cincinnati posts, and now I'll never hear the end of it.
You will never, so that dumb, stupid VeggieTales meme that I saved, the Bob the tomato caught you sinning, is like exclusively for you now. I saved it for like whenever I see it deemed necessary, but now I'm just it's whenever I see you doing something naughty like that on Twitter, you're getting the tomato.
I should get a T-shirt. Like I say, hey, I'm getting this Chattanooga FC jersey, and you're just gonna post that on there.
Oh God, God, dude. But here's what I'm interested in seeing. Right. So you mentioned Chattanooga FC, right?
Yeah.
That was our very first rival in MPSL, And it kind of started off how we started off with Atlanta, very friendly, whatever, and then it got more heated, kind of like
as
between
the years had gone.
yeah. And then we moved leagues, and it fizzled out because we never played them, whatever.
They still take jabs here. Hooligans still take jabs.
There's
here
jabs back and forth every now and again, but the mass majority of Nashville soccer fans now
don't really know.
They don't know the history of that rivalry, and they probably don't really know that ever existed, right? Which is a shame. I'm intrigued to see how Nashville SC will be received in both Memphis and Chattanooga. I feel like Chattanooga has more of a tie to Atlanta than they do to Nashville.
Because I know with Atlanta being established first in MLS, there's an overlap in Tennesseans and being Atlanta fans. Because I know several people where I live, which is like an hour away from Nashville. Yeah, a lot of them are Atlanta fans. My indoor place has a team named Atlanta United. I'm like, oh, that's a little all right, but but I think there's gonna be overlap with like you can like Memphis and be like Nashville's my MLS team. Because I know there's a lot of that.
I know a lot of people doing that. I've heard some people from all over like Louisville, Chattanooga, whatever. They said they're not gonna be Nashville fans, but like they'll go to games, they'll check it out. It's like it's Major League Soccer close to where you live.
Yeah,
you know,
a top tier.
And like I know a lot of Louisville fans. Every now and again, like Wyatt will every now and again go check out a FC Cincinnati game. Mostly
he'll
just
definitely check out Nashville
just to watch a game, right? So I'm excited. I'm intrigued to see over the years how that kind of changes from if that changes from just like a casual fandom you want to check out a game to like actually being Nashville fans, because we stop. Because we actually saw that with Detroit fans in Nashville for hockey, where for years, there was so many fucking Detroit Red Wing fans in Nashville. And over time, as the team got better and they lived in Nashville longer or whatever,
they slowly transitioned.
Their alliances kind of moved. Yeah. So I'm intrigued to see how that kind of works out.
I think for Tennesseans, that'll definitely happen. Now, like fans like you got Patty and Wyatt, they're going to be diehard Louisville regardless, but they'll check out Nashville. But like as far as like Tennessee-based teams with I would say Birmingham for some reason. Yeah. But Birmingham fans did say they check us out when I was down there. So
I think we have an unofficial fan alliance with Birmingham at this point because we showed up to cheer against the team they were playing when we needed them to lose.
Honestly, I like Birmingham. I like that little city they got going.
I like Birmingham because they have a fucking Whataburger.
I like the fact that they do their little iron forging whenever they win and stuff. Yeah. I think that's awesome.
But I think I've said this on another podcast. I was on the Tailgate show. I think it's the Tailgate podcast, whatever. If one of you guys is listening, drop your link in the chat. A couple months ago, and I was saying that this is going to take time. It's not like the Titans. It's not like the NFL where they dropped a team in Nashville and they said, "Here you go."
Well, that's American football.
Exactly. It's American football. It's the NFL. No matter any city in America, you drop a team there, there's going to be an immediate huge fan base.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just like not necessarily just like the Preds, because Preds got threatened to get relocated like in 06 or something.
I think it'll be like the Preds, but a little more accelerated, a little faster.
Because there's a more connection here with soccer. We have one of the largest like youth like academies around in Tennessee, and kids can connect to playing soccer more than hockey necessarily.
Yeah, I think so. With the Preds, I think we should ideally, knock on wood, skip all the bullshit ownership stuff they went through. But I think you're right, where it's gonna take time for the rabid fan base to grow. There's always gonna be, like, we already have a pretty decent chunk to start off with, and it's growing every day of just rabid fans and then casual fans as well. But what happened with the Preds was they did not hit their stride and just like absolutely having like the best fan base in the NHL, one of the best fan bases in the NHL, selling out an entire season. They did not hit that stride.
That came with time.
Yeah, until about 15 seasons in, right? Maybe probably about 15. And what happened there was the kids that grew up like our age group, kids that grew up with the Preds, that all they ever knew was Nashville had a hockey team, that they went to games as a kid, fell in love with it. They grew up. They got income that the first thing that they used their disposable income on was to get season tickets to the Preds. And once that happened, it's a never-ending chain of just that happening for generations and generations. And that's kind of how the Preds have leveled out to the level that they are now. And it's going to take time with Nashville SC. It's going to be I have no doubt that the attendance is going to be okay. It's not going to be I don't think we're going to be Atlanta. Prove me wrong, but
I'm 100% okay with what SKC brings.
Yeah.
18,000. That's my preferred for a stadium. But I know with all the things we have going with letting Vanderbilt play there and having other concerts and venue for our venue. But I think we'll hit around 18, anywhere from 18 to 20K, just because Nashville being a small market soccer area, just like Kansas City is. I'm not expecting 72,000 people just like Atlanta. That's unheard of.
I think we will have a couple big games this year that will get a shit ton of attendance, right? I think the first game will be
with Atlanta, it's
shit ton.
It's gonna be massive.
But I think every step of the way in MPSL, in PDL, in USL, and now in MLS, every step of the way we've been right in the middle for average attendance. We've been just average.
Every league we've been in, and it's like, okay, we're average at MPSL, average USL.
We've always made the appropriate bump up in attendance each step of the way.
They make a good point right there. LA teams, they just have Chicharito coming from LA Galaxy and Vela from LAFC.
Yeah.
We have a huge Hispanic population here in Tennessee, and I already know a ton of people at the indoor place I play at have said when Chicharito comes or when Carlos Vela comes, I'm coming. I was like, why not come regularly?
They just show up before that.
Yeah, but they want to see their
I understand. Yeah, no, I get it.
National teams.
I've been patiently waiting, and it still could happen. I don't know who, but I've been patiently waiting for a big Latin designated player to show up in Nashville. I mean, again, we have all up and down the roster a bunch of Hispanic players, a bunch of Latin players.
Yeah.
Daniel Rios, Randall Leal, all sorts. You can go through the roster and find your guy from whatever region. We have German players. We have.
Well, I know Randall.
Not Nigeria. Ghanaian players. We have American players. From anywhere in the world, you can find somebody. But I'm waiting with how, and I've been wanting this for a while, with how big of a Latin population we have in Nashville. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I kind of wanted Chicharito. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I wanted it. You know how fucking massive it would have been if we got him?
Yeah.
Or the rumors.
Ochoa.
Ochoa? I would have freaked the fuck out if Ochoa would have been treated like a god here.
Would you rather us use a DP slot on a goalkeeper to get Ochoa, that you could use a DP slot for a field player?
I'd rather use it on a field player. I think
you'd choose a field player DP over star power name to get people in seats.
So right now, and again, finding the big star name Latin player that I don't know who is available, who we could get, would be great for marketing.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Looking at the team itself, I like how they've started to build it. I think they're building for sustainability. I don't think they're trying to strike for a championship right out the gate. I think they're trying to. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah. But I think they're trying to be competitive and build from there. They're trying to go the opposite direction that FC Cincinnati went, and I've liked how they've built the team so far, and they still have. I think they have one more DP slot, right?
They technically right now the Randall Leal is marked as a young DP.
Yeah.
But Jacobs has said they plan on using Tam to buy his contract down to where they still have 2 slots left.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and I guarantee they're probably in talks with someone right now to try to sign soon, but I guarantee you about halfway through the season something's gonna pop up. Someone's gonna pop up that we will snag and we won't even expect it. We're not going to sit on 2 empty slots for that long.
Yeah, they're either summer window or right before season starts. I know I've heard from places like what Ben Wright would say on like Twitter and like Club and Country is that what the club's plans are to go into the preseason, assess what they have currently, like as far as strikers with Denlati, Baji, and Rios, and see if they say Rios goes into preseason and just lights it up.
Yeah.
No need to spend that much money on a DP when you have a striker who just came in and lit it up when he's almost on a league minimum for pay. So you can use that DP for something else other than a striker. But then they said also, say they go into preseason and they do struggle with their strikers they have, then that's when they'll splash cash on a striker.
Yeah.
And I do like that plan. You can save money. Say Rios does ball out and say, okay, we found our guy.
I think Rios is young enough, talented enough to be a really good player in MLS.
Yeah.
We've just not seen him against that caliber of defense yet, that caliber of keeper yet.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. So I haven't thought about it that way, but I think you're right. I think they're going to try to test out what they have at the forward position first.
Yeah, and I look at it, Rios too. Like, he's had 2 seasons in USL. He came from Chivas. He was on loan at North Carolina, and then we bought him.
Yeah.
In both seasons, he hit 20 goals.
Yeah.
And that's not something, I guess, to overlook, because then a lot of people are comparing him to what Christian Ramirez is right now. And he's not a bad striker. He might be a guy to hold that position and fill it, almost like a Dom Dwyer back in his SKC days.
Yeah.
Not with Orlando, because he's pretty bad with Orlando now.
Garbo.
But he might be the guy to hold it over for a little bit before you get that, or he may be just a guy for the future and be like, he just progresses really well and gets called back up to the Mexican national team and revitalizes his career.
So far, how happy are you on a scale of 1 to 10? We'll go 1 to 10. How do you feel about the Nashville SC roster so far? 10 being like how Atlanta came out like championship right away. 1 being like FC Cincinnati's Garbo season this past year. How do you feel about how we look so far? And this is just a guess. It's not like a nothing you hear on this nothing you hear from anybody at Has Been is like an expert opinion at all. We're just talking out of our ass at most times. So what's your rating there? And I kind of have my thoughts as well.
Well, mine is, I won't say we're not going to be like LAFC or Cincinnati. No, not Cincinnati.
If we're worse than Cincinnati, I will jump off a bridge.
Delete the club.
Yeah.
No, I'll say 7 in the sense that I think we can sneak into the playoffs. Yeah. And I like what Rando Leal is. He's had comparisons of being Costa Rica's Chucky Lozano or Costa Rica's Christian Pulisic. He's their wonder kid and up-and-comer. And if he transitions into what they're projecting him to be, that can be really good for us.
So a lot of us have to go off of right now is highlight reels we find of these players on YouTube.
Yeah, and highlight reels are the best. Yeah, best of the best.
It's he's scoring a goal from 10 yards outside the box. It doesn't happen all the time, but it shows his potential to do these things. We can go look at stats or whatever. And the player I'm most excited to see how he gels with everyone is Hani Mukhtar.
Oh yeah,
like the dude. Based off of everything I've seen, and again, this is all off of highlights. Like I have to see the product on the field. I have to see how they gel with each other. And honestly, this preseason, if we have a losing record in this preseason, I'm still not worried because I think that's the time where they're gonna figure out what lineups, and it's what preseason is for.
Yeah.
Who gels well with who needs to be in what position, what formation, what lineups do you run, whatever. But I think in almost any situation, if you put Hani Mukhtar out there with this team, he was going to ball out. And that's who I think is going to carry. That's who's going to be the face of this team, who's going to carry this team. And I think him alone is going to make us competitive. I'm not – and again, I'm like you. I'm not saying we're going to even make the playoffs. I think we're going to be just a mid-tier team competing for that last spot. We may sneak in.
You may just fall short.
I think we're like – my rating would be like a 6 or 7. I'd say closer to a 6 because we still have those DP slots left.
Yeah.
If we sign one more big player, then maybe we'll see what happens. But I think they're going to take this preseason and the first part of the season and kind of figure out what's going on, and then like you've said, use 1 or 2 of those available openings and bring in another big player. Don't know who it is. Don't know who it could be. And honestly, don't know where the needs are right now because we filled just about everything with what appears on paper to be at least decent talent.
Yeah. What position are you most comfortable with at the moment?
I mean, I think Gary's done a good job of putting a lot of talent and experience on the back half of the field. I think he doesn't want to get blown out as the new team.
Yeah, and I think that's what he did with
exactly what he did with
USL in first year. I mean, we didn't score a lot.
No,
but we were hard to score against.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take the exact same approach he did in USL. In the first year of USL, the team was built not to lose.
Yeah.
It wasn't built to win. It was built not to lose.
Then second year, we couldn't stop scoring.
Yeah,
like we were top 5 in scoring and defense.
Yeah, I think, and it's how Gary's always been. He'll build the team defensively first.
Yeah, and
then he'll go out and find pieces from there. And it looks like he's kind of already started to find the offensive pieces he likes. And again, we have to see this all on the field.
Yeah,
but
first season USL, I mean, we kind of like iffy on the striker situation as well, but we had Tucker Hume and Brandon Allen.
Yeah.
And Rapapa wasn't fit.
Yeah.
And he also didn't start Allen Wynn. And turns out this year was like one of our best offensive weapons.
And I think how Allen Wynn matured on the field so quickly is awesome to see from the first year of USL until now. Yeah. And I'm excited to see I don't think we're gonna plug him in MLS and him be a huge difference maker for us. But I think he's going to be that wonder sub, kind of like Rapapa was in USL, that will come on the field, be faster than everybody, and have the energy because he's been hanging out on the bench for the first 60 minutes, first 70 minutes.
Yes, and those crosses.
And he's going to fucking just blitz past somebody on the right side of the field and just get either a wide open shot or cross it over to whoever's on the other side.
Yeah.
Which has really always been his specialty anyways. I think he's going to be our wonder sub in MLS. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what the roster does. I don't know. I don't quite know what to expect yet. I haven't seen them gelled. I haven't seen them play together. I'm kind of hoping the club streams some of these preseason games so we can at least get a sense of it, but I also understand why they wouldn't.
Yeah, get all eyes on them, see what they're going to do.
But yeah, in the chat, we are getting requests to talk about the jerseys and the jersey release party. Were you at the party? I don't think I saw you there.
I was there.
Okay, I did. I ran into you when you were coming in.
Yeah.
When you were walking a mile and a half to get into the back of the line.
Yeah, that line was even when I got to the back of the line.
Yeah.
That line still wrapped around the block.
Yeah,
they turned people away at the door. Did you know that?
They turned people away.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was one of the last people to get in.
So it's official now that not only did that party have, and that not only did that line and that party have more people than we did at any of our MPSL games, it had more people than we did at some of our USL games.
It was insane.
That venue holds like 5,000 people.
It's insane that people came out just to see a jersey. And a jersey that was already leaked. It's like,
you know what's funny? So I was at the front of the line, right? I got there early. I had kind of figured that we're gonna get a same situation that we had at the expansion draft, where the doors were just open anyways, and you can go in early, whatever.
Yeah, they said no, you're waiting.
Yeah, which was good. It was better that they cleared the club out and were able to set everything up, because that expansion draft, while it was fun, I was told by a lot of people that showed up there early, there was like regular, just normal tourists and patrons there eating their food, hanging out, and they were very confused by everything that was going on.
Yeah.
So they learned, they handled this event better. But I forgot what my original point was. I like how they set the thing up. Oh yeah, here's what I was getting at originally. I was at the front of the line, so I got there early, hanging out, and I can't tell you how many fucking people. I don't know why I have the face or the appearance that I can answer all your questions, because everyone came to me, like all the tourists and all the people that had no idea what was going on came to me. It was to ask what was going on.
All people walking by on the street.
Yeah. And it was like they would come up and be like, "Hey, what is this line for? What the hell's going on?" And I could tell who lived in Nashville and who was a tourist based off of their reply to what I said. Because when I was like, "Oh, it's a jersey release party / like roster meet and greet, whatever," tourist would be like, "You guys have a soccer team? And you have this many fans?" What the hell? Like, because like the tourists, they had most of them coming to Nashville. They probably don't follow soccer.
They're
probably
there
just
for
coming
bachelorette parties.
Yeah, they're coming for bachelorette parties or country music or whatever. So it blew all of their minds. And then all of the people that I could tell lived there or worked on the street or whatever. When they asked, like, "Oh yeah, I heard about this."
Yeah.
Shit. And like they would like look back at the line that stretched for
like,
fucking ever.
damn.
Yeah, like
Now, I know.
Okay.
I saw one reaction from an older gentleman, which I could kind of gauge his reaction and knew he stood on the fairground situation.
oh no, this guy.
He looked up. He kind of had a questionable look on his face. Saw Nashville. He read Nashville soccer out, read on his lips, and he goes. Oh, like he shrugged his shoulders. I was like, all right.
Oh,
It was one guy though, so that was one guy of the whole crowd that walked by.
That man has existed for every single team that's come to Nashville. When the
Why
Titans
are you
came to
here?
Nashville, people didn't want the stadium built there. Like
Yeah.
when the Predators came to Nashville, it was like, why do we want this Yankee ass ice sport in Nashville? What? And then soccer, we're getting the exact same thing now. And like I said, with specifically hockey, is going to take some time. That guy will either go to a game, see how fun it is. The atmosphere for the Predators converted so many people.
I
think
think that's what we got to do.
It's going to convert a lot of people.
Yeah.
So over time that will change. But yeah, the line and just before the event even started, the atmosphere there was just so fucking fun. Like. Once a lot of the core roadies got there, like I noticed a couple chants started echoing up and down the street, which was a super cool thing to see.
Yeah.
And it was legitimately just for a jersey reveal.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's like you kind of got to meet the players, like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Whatever. But essentially, we'll sit there and watch the jerseys come unveiled, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will say props to some of the Cincinnati fans that commented on the photo I posted of the line.
Yeah.
They were actually like, "Hey, that's good job."
Yeah.
Like,
so the last two major things that the club has done, that the fans in the club have done, that bus trip to go meet Jack when he was drafted,
yeah.
and the jersey reveal, overwhelmingly on Twitter and on every social media, like. Positive, like holy shit, you guys know how to throw a party.
I know the bus thing, ESPN FC, Taylor Twellman, Fox Soccer, Copa 90.
Yeah.
All the major accounts were like, "Yo, look what Nashville just did."
Yeah.
And I thought, that's good. That's good exposure too,
Yeah.
right there. I mean,
for the last two very public like supporter soccer culture in Nashville things we've done has gotten nothing but positive press. And what those two experiences have taught me, and I think Clay on the Pharmaceutical Soccer podcast, everyone knows Clay. He's like the club's historian at this point.
Yeah.
He said on Twitter after the draft thing went down that what we need to take away from that experience, outside of it being awesome, being a cool thing we did for this kid, whatever, that no matter what the club does, no matter what the fans do, no matter how good it is, there will be a sect of fans in every single fan base that will try to shit on what you're doing and try to make it look like you are not true fans, that you are not supporting your team or the city or whatever in the right way, and they're just going to be trolls no matter what. Ignore them. And that's kind of what knowing me, I take the bait. I like to be salty and toxic sometimes.
Just troll.
For the most part, I've kind of started to take that response to things where it's like, okay, if you can't say that getting two buses full of people at 4 a.m. on a work day with 2 days notice to drive 2 states over, say hi to a draft pick, eat Red Robin and come home isn't like fucking awesome, you're dumb. You're just dumb.
Look, there's no promises of anything else. It's like, hey, get on this bus, go to.
They didn't even tell us where we were going.
It's like go to St. Louis and eat Red Robins.
We knew we were either going to St. Louis or Carolina. We didn't know where. They just load us on a bus. We signed a non-disclosure agreement until the event was over, and then they drove us somewhere. And it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And there's people saying that like it was the club paid for the bus. Well, like no shit they did. Like the club paid for stuff we're doing. That's cool. Let's see. Sorry, reading the chat.
Yeah.
Trust me, I run SG's social media and I deal with all the idiots too, dude. I feel you there. I work in social media full time, and it's just like ignore it. Most of the time, you just have to ignore them.
I go on other social media, like other SGs, and troll them, and when I see people trolling us, so it's okay.
Yeah, you're a designated troll.
I get the retaliation. No, I think that let's go back to the jerseys though. Like, ultimately,
yeah, okay. The jerseys themselves. Go ahead and give your opinion and the rundown on everything. And
I look at it, I don't think it's gold, first off, but I do like it. I mean, personally, I like a clean, just simple jersey, rather than some extravagant that takes away from the the game itself. But, it could have been better. Like, I think I gave my analysis before on Twitter. Could have been better. Yeah. Could have been a lot worse. Yes, we've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
I like it. Seeing it in person made me like it. Yeah. Because I saw the first picture, I was like, on Twitter, and but seeing it in person, I realized, okay, this isn't bad. And I like the font MLS is going with the numbers, and
I think the font on the jerseys saved the entire kit.
It's sharp, honestly.
I don't like. I'm like you. The jersey, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's our club. We're gonna buy it.
Well, yeah, the jersey could just be thousands of pictures of a collage of little turds, and I'd buy it. But I'm gonna buy the kit no matter what. But I knew going into it, and I had hopes that this wasn't gonna be the case. But I knew going into it that the club was gonna go as simple as possible,
minimalist,
for this first kit, because that is a jersey that is gonna sell. And it's not gonna rock the jukebox too much. It's not gonna or rock the boat. Excuse me, I just quoted an Alan Jackson song. It's not gonna rock the boat too much. It's not gonna. Excuse me. It's no one's gonna look at that and say they hate it. So if you're a Nashville fan in season 1, you probably buy it.
You're like, okay, yeah, it's a jersey.
Yeah.
I like this player. Like, I know we have a lot of Costa Rican internationals, and they see Randall Leal.
Exactly.
Get his jersey, you know.
You'll get a lot of hardcores buying the jersey right off the bat, and then as casual fans start to make connections with players, kind of like we saw in the USL, you start.
So I saw a lot of Taylor Washington jerseys.
Yeah, you started seeing a lot of Washington jerseys, a lot of Rapapa jerseys, Daniel Rios jerseys, and a lot of people when those not the white jerseys, when the yellow jersey, the gold jerseys came out last year, I wasn't in love with them, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people weren't, but people bought them to support the team, and as they made connections with players,
more jerseys
sold. They would buy more. And I think that exact thing's going to happen. And I think it's a strategic move by the club to get the crest and the colors and everything
simple
out
with
there.
it to get the casual fan wanting, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
A lot of casual fans don't know about the extravagance of what soccer jersey patterns are.
Yeah.
Like what you see with Forward Madison and stuff. So
yeah. So I think you'll have, and they still haven't revealed the away. It's not really an away.
I saw the
it's
shorts. The shorts are navy blue.
So I can guarantee it's just going to be all navy blue like we had the first year.
And I do think they'll some clubs alternate the shorts with the shirts.
Dude, the navy blue shorts with the gold top would look so badass.
It looked clean. It almost looked like Brøndby, where Mukhtar came from.
Yeah, dude.
But it's a good color combination. I'm not going to complain.
100%. And the thing that, like I said, the thing that saved the jersey for me, that makes it a badass. Like for me, I love the kit, and the thing that saved it was the number font and how everything looks.
It was clean.
It just looks so fucking good.
I think we first saw it when Cincinnati announced a player, and I was like, is that the font they're going with? Because that's a pretty cool font. I'm not going to lie. Then it confirmed it because I have actually Leal as my wallpaper with his jersey. And I was like, it's pretty clean. I'm definitely getting that jersey.
Yeah, so I'm excited. And the one thing I would say about what I took away from the reveal, and like how you said, it's not gold. Whatever shade of yellow they put out there, it's gold to me.
We're going to call it gold.
We're going to call it gold. I guarantee the club wanted to go with the gold we already had, but there's, I think, like Columbus and
LA
Galaxy and a few other teams use
I
that
do believe
same shade of
100%
gold.
that MLS had a say in what color combination.
I guarantee they did.
It's 100%.
I guarantee they did. So the front office wisely to not piss off the entire fan base they currently have, just went with as close as they could get.
Yeah.
Within the Adidas color template.
Yeah, because I mean, they wouldn't ask for our feedback on what they would think.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to keep the boys in gold? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
You know.
Fuck you. No. The club has done a very good job of listening to, within reason, listening to criticism and how the fans want things to be. Like, the two major worries for everyone going into MLS was they're going to change the name from Nashville SC to something just lame. Like,
it would confuse a lot of the casual.
FC, Sporting Music.
What about 10 SC?
Yeah. Or change it from gold.
Yeah.
Those were the two things that, as a whole, the supporter base said are unacceptable.
I think a lot of it had to do with you're going to confuse the hell out of casual fans.
Yeah.
You one changing a crest did that enough. They're like, well, why'd you have to? A lot of people don't understand why we had to change it. It's copyright. USL owns that.
Yeah.
The rights to that USL logo.
That's why we had to change it the first time when it was Nashville FC.
Yeah, we slightly changed the title.
We had to change the logo and then the title because of a pending lawsuit. It was a whole thing. But the change from USL to MLS was natural, had to happen. And the club did a very good job of being upfront and saying and showing that they are not going to change the core identity of the club.
Yeah.
It will, and they said it in giant fucking letters behind Hani Mukhtar on the stage, "Forever Gold." Like,
yeah.
The shade of the yellow, gold, whatever may change. It will be gold forever. They put it in words behind our entire roster in front of 5,000 people watching a jersey reveal. Like, they listen. And then at the branding reveal, they were like, they even said as much, where they were like, you told us you wanted a strong English name, is how Ian worded it, and to be the boys in gold, and we've given you both of those. And then they revealed the crest, which everyone has their opinions on.
You have Chelsea Football Club. You have Liverpool Football Club. It's it's an English thing. It's like that's what we wanted, and we got it. So.
And the only reason we're not still Football Club was because of a lawsuit. Yeah, it would still be that way if that.
And
lawsuit
you don't want to
didn't
confuse.
happen.
You know, we're in the South, and not a lot of people understand.
So
call it soccer. You know,
but I'm glad that we've stuck to that, and like, stuff will change here and there, and like, no matter what, I'm at the point with this soccer club that they could do, if they don't do those two things, if they don't change the name of the club and they don't change the boys in gold color
identity,
scheme identity, anything to do, I'm fine with it. Like, I'll voice my displeasure in things, but they will never lose my fandom as long as they don't do those two things.
Yeah, I know a lot of us voiced our displeasure at the beginning because we expected, as far as marketing and promotion, to hit the ground running. Yeah. But it took a minute.
It did take a minute.
A lot of us voiced our displeasure with, like, they're missing, like, say, Antioch. You saw me how many people commented Antioch underneath their posts. So it's not like we're all like yes men with the club. We have voiced displeasures, but ultimately the club has it may have taken some time, but have eventually come around and done the right thing. Like, they've gone to Antioch, and they actually, one of the guys that was actually there to, like, give out the stickers and magnets and stuff and hang out with the people of Antioch had told, I think it was DJ, I can't remember, that it was their best crowd they've had. Yeah. And Antioch's one of the most diverse places around Nashville, so I wasn't surprised when they said that. So I was like,
there's been people, a lot of the front office of Nashville SC in the past year and a half has churned over. I know almost a dozen people from the USL ended up going to Tulsa.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think they had I think if I heard correctly, I think I read like a news article or something. I read it somewhere that there's a lot of movement like that in the front office, and I think because of that, they may have lagged behind in the marketing a little bit, which may hurt us.
Yeah, and they did bring a lot of people that aren't from this area.
Exactly.
So they probably don't know the area as much.
But I think I think now you can definitely tell with how the lunch break thing they're doing and the 2 events they've had, how they've really started to gain their momentum. So I think they're moving in a right way with the marketing or whatever, and slowly but surely building to something we can all be proud of, and building to starting to incorporate all these different communities around the city. I kind of want to quickly touch on. We had someone in the chat say, "Does your kit have the 3 stripes on the shoulder like we've seen on a lot of the other jerseys?" It does not. It has the 3 stripes like along the top
Adidas.
of the shoulder. But I know exactly what you're talking about. How I think there was one for Miami that league.
I think every club has it. It's a 25-year anniversary for MLS, and I think that's what our Navy kit will have.
Probably
I think every club has that.
Because now that you mention it, the 2 kits we saw for Miami, the dark one had the stripes,
and the white one did not.
Yeah. So now that you've mentioned that, our Navy one will probably have the gold stripes.
DC United's, I think it was DC or Red Bulls. It was Red Bulls.
Yeah.
And they had it as well.
And I'm going to be in the minority here. I like that look.
On some jerseys, I like it.
Yeah. I actually have a training kit. It's not for any club. It's just it's a normal training jersey. And it's just white with the black 3 stripes. And it's like my favorite shirt. So if they put that on a Nashville jersey, I'm buying it.
I think Navy with that type of gold or yellow they have, I think that'll look good. Some jerseys I've seen it on, I'm just like, that doesn't look too hot. Like, I don't know about that one, Chief. But I'm looking forward to see how it looks. Especially, I like the shorts that Dax McCarty was caught wearing.
Yeah.
With the Navy.
Was that taken down like immediately?
No, it was on the MLS media day they had over in LA, I think.
Yeah, I was surprised that slipped out, to be honest, with how well they.
He was wearing like a luchador mask, I think. So I was like, "What is going on?"
But yeah, man, we've been going for a little bit here. Let's go ahead and end this one and save some of these topics for next week, because I know we have about a month out now, right?
Oh yeah.
So we got a little time to fill before we got games to talk about, which is going to be fucking amazing. Big. So yeah, thank you guys for joining in and listening. If you watched on or listen/watch on Periscope or on Twitch, you guys are awesome. Make sure you follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/hasbeengames, or just follow us on Twitter @hasbeensports. And then this will likely be out on iTunes either tomorrow or the next day, and you can find us there. Just search Has Been Sports, and it has all of our podcasts there. Leave a review, rate 5 stars. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining in. Travis, one more time, where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me at NSC Guru for all the memes and content of Nashville SC.
All the dank memes he's spitting
my
out
dank
on the daily.
memes and my trolling of other fan bases.
It's like once a day at this point that you're just like, let me drop a match into this bucket of gasoline.
I get bored at work sometimes. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. All right, man. Well, thank you guys for jumping in. I'm going to kick on some music here and let that run out for a little bit. But thank you guys for joining in. We will catch you next time.